For instance, I don't like drugs which mess with your mind in the sense of that distort your value assessing ability. The drug which comes to mind is ketamine. Ketamine is an extremely powerful synthetic drug that creates an experience which, if you haven't had ketamine, you don't know what this experience is. It's that specific to it. But, hell, the house could burn down around you and it would arrive as an unconfirmable rumor on the dark side of your metaphysical imagination with this stuff. I mean, you would never lift a hair, it would never enter your mind that there was a problem. Datura is like this too. Datura severely distorts reality. The day I knew that my experiments with Datura had come to an end was one day in Nepal. I was talking to a friend of mine in the market about his Datura experiments and how much he'd been taking recently. And in the course of the conversation, it came out that he thought we were in his apartment. And I at this person that there had been severe degradation of core information processing, and that we had to get back on the wagon or we weren't going to get out of there. But so then let me describe for a moment the state of mind on DMT is if you keep there is a tendency to give way to absolute astonishment. But if you can hold that back and pay very close attention to what's going on, you will discover that it didn't do anything to you. That here you are and suddenly in the midst of a raging universe of hallucination, and you are you, and you are who you were before. And it has not in any way inflated, repressed, suppressed, distorted, or skewed anything. You're just saying, aha, wow, I'm really smashed. The input is reaching overload, but there must be this core observer who's never overwhelmed, and this persists with most of the tryptamines. Now, sometimes it is overwhelmed, but when it's overwhelmed, it's the last thing to be overwhelmed, and the first thing to pop back into existence at the end of the period of overwhelmment. So sometimes on ayahuasca, you just lose it for a period of time, 20 minutes or something. But then you reconstruct, and you're there like a little cork popping up to the top of the ocean. Say, oh, here I am. It's me again. So this is very important to be able to observe. With DMT, the reason it's so fascinating is because the input, the content, seems to be almost entirely confined to the visual cortex. It's something that you look at, and it comes toward you, and it relates to you. There is a weird distortion of body image, but it's small potatoes compared to most of what's going on. And you can, the I-thou relationship. So, my tastes may be narrower than some people. Some people just like to get, fucked up. And they go one way and then another, and a few reds and a shot of this and a hit of that. And, yeah.
No, there's really nothing to be frightened about with the elves. I mean, it sounds like they could be demons if they want to be. And,
they could be. They're demonic. They've never done anything bad to me. It's that they're humor. It's like being trapped in a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I mean, we all know how funny a Bugs Bunny cartoon is, but have you noticed that the humor is all based on explosions, falling anvils, and agony? And so imagine if you were actually in a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I mean, it's a parody of that situation. I don't know. The vibe of these creatures is very strange. They're knowledge holders. Like I've often thought that what they were was meme traders, because they had the same feeling that I associated with the Indian hashish traders. They're meme traders. They are, when they spread out all this stuff in front of you and are saying, look at this, these marvelous jeweled objects, these are things they're selling. They want to trade. They're asking, what have you got? You know, what can you show us? Your Rolex, your fountain pen, your political beliefs, your sexual orientation, you know, what do you want to trade? And so they're sort of like cosmic pack rats. You know, pack rats will take something, but they always leave something. Have you ever dealt with pack rats? Oh, pack rats are fascinating because if one finds you, it will leave an object in trade for whatever it takes. And the trick is so you give it a paper clip, it gives you a fountain pen. And there are stories in the gold country of Colorado and California of people having relationships with pack rats where they were trading it thumbtacks and it was bringing them gold nuggets until, you know, they had enough gold nuggets that they could leave off trading with varmints and get a life.